Afternoon, CJ Nation, and to all of you that are brand new to my channel, and this might be the very first video you're ever seeing. Welcome to the CJ Nerf channel and to the wonderful world of Nerf, or non-expanding recreational foam. Who would have thought that a foam ball created back in 1969 and marketed as the world's first indoor ball would go on to revolutionize an entire industry? That beginning company is now Hasbro, and not only did they create a great toy, my friends, they created an entire economy around four little letters: Nerf. The success and popularity of Nerf has led to other companies rising up to claim their piece of the toy blaster industry. Companies such as Dart Zone, Busby, and ZURU X SHOT, just to name a few. Nerf also has spawned an entire subculture. And the beauty of this hobby is that it doesn't matter who you are, there is a place for you. Whether you're a casual Nerfer, a talented modder who likes to paint and modify your blasters, there's an entire subculture with super talented people and of all ages who are involved in that. Whether you like to look for competitive games, hey, they got you covered. Or whether you're just a parent looking to buy that next perfect Christmas gift for your child. Groups have been springing up all over the world, where if you're looking for a game that you could actually join, hey, just take a look on Facebook. I'm sure you can find a group local to you where you can actually meet up with other like-minded people and just have a nice fun Sunday afternoon shooting foam. Not only can you get involved in private Nerf groups in your local community, there are also businesses springing up where you can actually go to a place, pay a flat fee, and you'll be able to Nerf at an indoor arena with blasters provided for a certain amount of a time. Ladies and gentlemen, even if we set aside all those wonderful things Nerf has done, over the past 50 years, one thing has remained constant. Nerf has influenced generations and provided lasting memories for each and every life it touches. And that, my friends, money can't buy. For instance, I was born in 1970. Guys, this is when it all began with the foam. First Nerf blaster didn't release until 1992. 22 years later. Everything for me with Nerf stems from my grandmother, because every year without fail, my grandmother, in my stocking for Christmas, there'd be two things. One, some sort of random fruit, because my grandmother was just like that, right? Second thing, a brand shiny new Nerf football. And guys, between the Nerf football, the Nerf basketball hoop set for your door, and the foam ball, those were the epic Nerf toys of my day. Now, I am a father of a 5-year-old, and I wanted my son to have those wonderful memories the way I do. So we decided to start a Nerf channel together. Ladies and gentlemen, aside from the profit, the economics, the trends, all the popularity, put that all aside for a second. One of the most important things Nerf ever did in my eyes was bring family and friends together. It provided an eternal link between my grandmother and I, and now it's gonna forge a bond between me and my son. So honestly, this is why, as a father, I built this channel up for my son and I, so we could, one, spend time together, two, experience and enjoy the Nerf hobby as a whole, and three, was to help out all of you parents and adults out there that are looking to buy blasters for your kids. So in order to achieve the third goal on our channel, which is to aid all of you additional parents out there that are walking into the toy aisle at these places and just scratching your head because there's so many choices, we wanted to make a comprehensive video series which basically breaks down Nerf, and we called it Nerf 101. We're basically going to start with the basics, and then we're going to run through the blaster lines for different brands as well as Nerf, and we're going to break down all the information that you need. So depending on the age of your child, you're going to get a great idea of what will work for your particular situation. Let's get started with the basics. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at what happens when you walk down that toy aisle at your favorite toy store or shopping around on Amazon. First thing you're going to notice is you're going to see tons of Nerf products, right? King of the Hill, first ones who started it all. You're quickly going to notice as you look more in detail at these shelves, you're going to find blasters from Dart Zone, ZURU X SHOT, and Busby toys. Now, if you're in Walmart in particular, you're going to notice Walmart has its own trademark brand called Adventure Force. The way I understand this to work, or the way I actually see it, I'm not sure about the laws and everything about, trademark infringement and all that good stuff, but the way I look at it is, these three companies will do one of two things. They will either produce a blaster specifically for the Adventure Force line, such as Dart Zone creating the incredible Command Fire, or they will take an existing blaster they have within their own line, they will give it a new paint job, put the Adventure Force logo on it, and allow Walmart to put it under their brand with a new name. Now, sometimes there'll be minor differences in the blasters, but for instance, just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, if you happen to have seen the ZURU X SHOT Reflex 6, which is an awesome 6-shot pistol, Well, Adventure Force has a version of it called the Destroyer. Here's a photo of it just so you can get a side-by-side view. So again, guys, just to recap, expect to see 4 main brands in the majority of your toy stores. And when you're in Walmart, you will see the additional brand of Adventure Force, which ZURU X SHOT, Dart Zone, and Buzzbee contribute to. Now, as far as Nerf blasters under the Adventure Force line, to my knowledge, as of the date of this video, I don't know of one Nerf blaster that's actually been rebranded underneath the Adventure Force line. Going forward, when we start looking at specific blaster lines from different companies, we are not going to focus on the Adventure Force line or at this time, only because those blasters are actually being produced from companies that we already are going to be looking at. So I don't want to, pretty much reiterate the same stuff. So now let's go ahead and take a look at blaster types. Blasters in general typically work in one of 4 different ways, and we're going to take a look at each. The first, spring-powered, or what we call springers. These are usually the simplest of blasters, easy to operate, and don't require you to purchase batteries or any kind of electrical powered devices to make them work. Typically, they're perfect for younger Nerfers because they are very easy to operate. They come in a wide variety of sizes, from small to extra large, and they prime in many different ways. For instance, this little guy, you just pull back on the handle, aim, and fire. You can go sort of small, pull back on this priming handle, aim, and fire. There are larger blasters with priming handles underneath. That was just a few examples of the way different types of springers can actually prime. There are several others that we didn't go over. Remember, we're keeping this basic. Next group we're going to focus on are electric flywheel blasters. This is the second most plentiful group as far as blasters available to you, the public. They do require batteries to operate, which, keep in mind, you'll have to replace over time. So the cost for upkeep will be a little bit more than, say, a springer. These blasters typically do require a tad bit more coordination to use, so younger Nerfers, you really have to be wary. Most flywheel blasters use a rev trigger in conjunction with a normal trigger, meaning when your son or daughter has the blaster in their hands and they want to fire this, they must press this trigger first to rev the electric motors. You can clearly hear when the motors are at max rev. Once that happens, you're going to pull the trigger to fire the dart. That takes a little bit of coordination, so depending on the age of the Nerfer, you have to be a little bit wary of flywheel blasters. Now the beautiful thing is, I said most flywheel blasters will use some sort of rev trigger. There are blasters, especially from Dart Zone, that actually use an on-off switch. So you'll just click the button over to on, the flywheels will rev, and then the child can pull one trigger instead of 2. Some of the bonuses of flywheel blasters is you get a higher rate of fire. With spring blasters, you usually have to pull once, pull the trigger to release the dart and reprime the blaster. With flywheels, you rev the motors, and most are semi-automatic, but they have full auto ones. They have a wide array of really super fun blasters in the flywheel blaster category. The third category are going to be air-powered blasters. These are ones that you're typically going to have a pumping handle, so you'll pump up to build up pressure within a tank. Once you pull the trigger, it will release the pressure to fire the darts, like such. These are actually really cool blasters, but they're a little bit harder to find and you're not going to typically see them as often in stores. This Mag Strike from Nerf has just released under the Icon series here for their 50th anniversary. This was released a long time ago, and now they have re-released it, so it is available in stores now. Now, not only did they use that for the main part of the blaster, but they also have it as accessories on other types of blasters. Like here's a flywheel blaster, which they put a missile launcher attachment on. So this missile launcher only works by air. So you simply load the missile in, pull the priming handle out, and you punch it in, and there you can see how the air comes up and pushes the missile out. And our final group, my friends, are what they call stringers. All right, these are blasters that actually kind of resemble like a bow, and they use string propulsion. So in this instance, you'll notice how the string goes through the middle of the shell. So there are darts inside the magazine. When you pull back on the priming handle, you can see the string kind of lock in the rear position. Then you will aim, and the string will actually aid the dart in firing. Now, keep in mind, not all blasters with bow arms and a string are actually going to operate as a stringer. Some actually have a plunger tube inside and work as a spring-powered blaster, and the arm and string are just there for show. For example, for instance, here's the Outbreaker bow. This bow obviously has taken a little bit of a beating in my garage, but it does have bow arms and it does have a string, but the string is kind of just on here for cosmetic reasons, and honestly, there's a plunger tube inside, So if I go to fire it without the string, as you see, it still operates. Now that's going to do it for our 4 different types of ways blasters work. I just want to quickly pan over a lot of the ammo options that are out there and going to be available to you that you will typically use in these type of blasters. Now we're not going to get to great detail here. We're just going to pan over the basic most used darts, all right? And then going forward into future videos, we will actually narrow it down for you, because trust me, there's a ton of color options, a ton of third-party options, and it can just blow your mind with how many options there are. Basic ammo types are as follows. High impact rounds, which are for basically all the ball blasters. You have these oversized mega darts, which are for basically the Nerf Mega series. Any of the disc vortex blasters are going to take this type of ammo, which are these like Nerf discs. Now on the elite size ammo, there are so many different options. I just wanted to lay a few out on the table. Some are more accurate than others, and these are a bunch of different brands, but that's an overall look. They all have different dart heads, accuracy, and we'll go over all that in a later date. And then we have unique ammo that will be used in several platforms, like these foam missiles. And of course, there are a couple Nerf blasters that actually fire these arrows. Blasters themselves load in a variety of different ways, so depending on which blaster you pick up, it will load in one of the following ways. Chains, clips, shells, front load, internal mags, hoppers, different type of magazines, and of course, drums. My friends, I know things right now seem a little bit overwhelming. We just went over a wealth of information and we only skimmed the surface. But have no fear. Click the subscribe button, follow along in this Nerf 101 series, and trust me, we are going to make things simple for you. We're going to break down all the blaster series from all the different lines. We're going to tell you everything you need to know, from eye protection to dart types, blasters, pros and cons. We're going to give you points of view from an adult. We're going to give you points of view from a child. You're going to know everything you need to know to pick out that perfect birthday, Christmas gift, or just war-ready blaster. We're going to give you everything you need to know to make the most educated decision you can while saving you the most amount of money. And to all the experienced Nerfers out there, please feel free to add your comments into the comment section if you feel like I omitted something or forgot something, to help aid all of the new people that are possibly going to come into this hobby. This is a video series I've been wanting to make for a long time, and I'm finally taking the time to put together this comprehensive informational guide as well as buying guide for all of you people that are looking to get involved in Nerf but just don't know where to start. I'll see you soon in episode 2, where we're going to take an in-depth look at the 17 blasters which are a part of the Nerf Mega series.